So after the surrender of our energy independence, the Afghanistan horrible, most embarrassing moment in history, we lost 13 soldiers, great soldiers. We left billions and billions of dollars behind. We left Americans behind. You have Americans right now in Afghanistan, and they cannot be happy, right? Many are probably dead. The border invasion, right? The border invasion. How about the 13,099 illegal aliens convicted of murder? They're roaming free. That's okay. In other words, these are all things that are okay. These are all things that are okay. How about, to me, the worst of all, because it's not even imaginable, she thinks it's okay because she said, no, I don't think I'd change anything. All of this stuff would have stopped. The worst inflation in the history of our country, costing everybody a minimum of $29,000 per family, price hikes that cost a typical family. Think of that. No, she wouldn't change. $29,000. People don't have that money. The inflation has really destroyed the middle class. The elderly and people on fixed incomes are decimated. Just think of it, our middle class. How about Ukraine? If I were president, there never would have been a war. You wouldn't even know what Ukraine is. There would have never been a war. Putin wouldn't have done it. Putin wouldn't have done it. And that was okay with her. You remember what she said? She said, no. She didn't know where the hell she was. She said, no, I'm fine, no. I wouldn't have done nothing. How about the October 7th attack on Israel? That would have never happened. How about the fact that the United States is a laughingstock all over the world, right? How about she failed on the witch hunts against her political opponent, me? The first time that they've ever done that. They do it in other countries, like in third world, banana republics. The witch hunts, I call it the witch hunts against Trump. The one in Florida was thrown out, and yet Biden's document case, they ruled on him. They said he's guilty, right? Oh, he had documents for 50 years. He shouldn't. And I had the Presidential Records Act. I was totally allowed to do it. Anyway, my case was won. He lost his case. What they said is that he's incompetent, essentially. They said he's got no memory and all sorts of other things, and therefore we shouldn't send him to court. They said he wasn't fit to stand trial, but he's allowed to be the President of the United States. Okay? No, think of that. Here's the ruling. He's not fit. He's got no memory, and he's in trouble. But he can run the presidency, but he cannot stand trial. They released him on the basis of that. The trillions of wasted dollars on the Green New scam, all that money is not only wasted, it set us way back, way back. And the worst hurricane response since Katrina. She doesn't want to have a do-over with what's happened to North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, all the states that we just mentioned. Kamala Harris could not think of one thing that she would do differently. And you know, it's strange, because when I saw that question, I said, oh, this is going to be a long answer, because she could have done it in a nice way. I wish I would have done this on the border. I wish we would have closed up the border. I wish we didn't have the horrific acts of violence against all of those children and all of the things. She could have really done. And I said, well, this will be a good answer. She didn't know what the hell to say. But think of it, it was a softball question. It was meant that and she said, no, I would have done everything. So all of the agony, all of the suffering, all of the inflation and the border and the criminals coming into our country, she wouldn't have done anything different than this guy that should have really never been president, in my opinion, should have never been president. She said that there would be nothing, and to me that is a disqualifying answer. That should disqualify her from even running. If that's going to be the case, she should be disqualified from even running. She's an incompetent person.